Hey guys, so I never did actually do a little reaction video to the featurette that was at Star Wars Celebration for Rogue One. A little late to the game, I know. So for a little bit of context, I just thought I would do it. Tonight is the release of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, the script for the stage play that is now in production or previews in London currently. So there's just context to the day. So it's feeling like a bit of a special day. I'm hoping to go down and grab my copy of the play down at Barnes & Noble later tonight. It's a little bit nostalgic for me as well because that's just something that I used to do years ago, and it's just kind of funny to see how long Harry Potter has carried me through my life and is like pretty much as important to me as Star Wars. But kind of back to Star Wars again. I never did a reaction video to the featurette for Rogue One, and it was really great. I was like super excited, despite all the fact that there's this back and forth of what it is that's going to be shown or what the movie will entail. I know people are concerned about the overall feel and theme to it, but based on this like kind of behind the scenes thing, I was like, that looks perfect. I was really impressed with what I saw. So the panel was pretty good. There were a few moments that were a little weird, but like ultimately I really enjoyed that too. I thought there were some really good panels. And I'm super excited for next year. Should be a good year. I think I really will bite the bullet and go to Star Wars Celebration. That's going to happen in Florida. Florida's not terribly far from me, and I feel like it's something I should do. So, and there'll be tons of Episode 8 stuff for that. Anyway, so I just thought I'd do a little reaction video to the Rogue One featurette. And hopefully you guys will be able to kind of hear it more or less as I go along. This is my first time doing this, so I have no idea how it's going to come out, so we'll see. Alright, here we go. I love the music.
It's like the fantasy you always have as a kid. Everywhere is an amazing show, an amazing character.
Yes! See, I'm seeing like droids and like things from the original trilogy. Hi, Warwick Davis. Always happy to see you.
Ready? Action!
Your heart's beating and you're actually in this situation, you get something very genuine that you couldn't have planned.
You'll actually compose shots that if we were on a green screen set, you just wouldn't have known were available.
The pressure's so high. Like, we're making a film that's right touching my favourite movie of all time, but then if you're too respectful of it, that you dare do anything new or different, take a risk, then what are you bringing to the table?
Good point. Yes! Oh, I love this stuff with Donnie Yen. It's great. Oh, it's so good. And the way these creatures and everything look, they do a little thing. Oh, it looks so good.
And this is really where a film crew like this really comes to their own. Kids, when you were 4
The way the
years old,
so I love this imagery of the stormtroopers like walking and in this tropical place. Some people don't like it. I love it. The creatures, the Imperial officers, and the main characters like the group core, Felicity Jones and David Luna look fantastic running around.
May the force be with us.
It looks so good. Oh my god, I love it. I get chills. So clearly I'm like, oh, I'm a big fat mush. Anyway, so I'm just loving it. anytime there's like stuff to do with like the Force, I love that. Anyway, it looks so good. I'm super excited. This is such a time for Star Wars. Oh my god, it looks so good. Yeah, I really hope that this is kind of successful because this will be the first standalone Star Wars story film. So they're smart because they're doing like the other side of the war, the thing that we're not as familiar with but happened clearly. So it's really, they picked a very good time period, I think, and like a thing to focus on. It's something we're familiar enough with, but at the same time will be a fully different perspective given what they're setting it in and who they're using as the characters. I think it's really great with the inclusion of like it's a ensemble. Although Felicity Jones, I think, is going to be mainly the main character. We get to have Vader in there. It just, all of it sounds really great. I love the actors are fantastic. I love who they picked. They're so diverse. We need more of that diversity and that representation now more than ever. And I like that they're setting that example. The more we can do it, the better. They did it with The Force Awakens. I think they should continue to. So I'm super excited. With Donnie Yen, that's super exciting. I think he's going to be totally awesome. He's going to be like kicking butt and like using the Force, not a Jedi, but using the Force. I love that idea. Because this is the thing, this is like, nobody knows or uses the Force. Like, it's not a thing anymore, except for Vader, and he's considered a relic even then. So that's one of the things I like about thinking forwards of The Force Awakens, because that's even further down the line, and the Force isn't a thing then either, and yet so we'll see what that is. That's a totally different topic for another day, but this looks great, so I really hope it's good. It looks great. It looks like they've got the right tone, the right feel, and like Gareth Edwards, who is the director, said it best. Like, on the one hand, like, you gotta, like, he wants so much to pay homage and make it right, make it fit in the universe, but like, if he's not gonna do anything different, what's the point? So, and now, that was the other thing that came up recently, is like, will they have an opening crawl for these? Now, I was firmly in the camp of like, yes, should definitely have an opening crawl, absolutely, unequivocally, and then I started to think about it. For this movie, I definitely think it should have an opening crawl because of the time period it's in. They could do a quick little blurb. It would set us up to understand what it is that we're walking into and who these characters are, at least a few of them, like Felicity Jones, for instance. But then I started to think about it, and this is actually going to be a really important decision, and maybe they'll change their mind, but I know they are a very smart think tank over at Lucasfilm. They are very, very carefully considering everything, and when I thought about it, I was like, all right, you're going to have to kind of set the standard. If you decide to have the opening crawl for this, you should do it for the other films. And so far, the only other officially announced film that we know of is going to be Young Han Solo. And for that, when I started to think about it, I was like, see, now that is a film that doesn't really, I think, need a crawl. Now, could it have it? Could they make it work? Sure, they just need the right language or whatever. But that almost feels a little weird because that is going to feel quite biographical in a sense because it's focused on one particular character, and that's why they're even doing it, because of the popularity and the love for that character. And I think a crawl would seem a little out of place. Now, could it set the tone and the time period wherever it is that they want to do and give us some context? Absolutely. It'd probably be something good to do, but to that same tune, I was like thinking about it, it's just like, just to fit the overall tone of the character and what that movie's gonna feel like, that doesn't fit Han Solo, you know what I'm saying? Not to set it up neatly, that's not him. He just kind of does what he does and all hell breaks loose. He's that kind of, that trope of character that we love. So, I don't know. So for this, I think it would fit well, but they're probably thinking, if we do it now, we have to be consistent, so that's probably why they're considering, should we do it for the, for the anthology films, or should we not? I don't know. So now I understand. Initially I was like, yes, they have to do it. That's what ties all these movies together. But then I was like, maybe not. When I was thinking about, again, in that context of the type of movie, for Rogue One, I think it would fit wholeheartedly. But for Han Solo, I don't. And so for consistency and continuity's sake, maybe that's what they're considering, then I understand. So anyway, those are my quick thoughts. Anyway, and I talked for much longer than I intended to, almost 10 minutes. Oh my goodness. Well, this is about like a 3 or 4 minute featurette, but anyway. All right, guys, I think that's about it for now. See ya.